There's more to them than meets the eye.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Tori Kitty. Come and check out what guest I got with me on the Star Corner. Yo guys, welcome to another dope episode of the Star Corner with myself, Tori Kitty, and with me I've got singer, songwriter, and model Nalu in the building. How are you doing today, Nalu?
Yo, what's up, Tarek? I'm super good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good too. I guess I'm good. Tell me about the name Nalu, because it's a name that I've never heard of. Where does the name originate from, and what does it mean?
So Nalu is a Hawaiian name. It means one with the waves, and it was actually a nickname that was given to me as a kid. And yeah, it just stuck because I loved the ocean, and I was always very fluid about everything that I did. And yeah, then the name was given to me, and now I'm Nalu.
So what's your original name?
My birth name.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll have to kill me. You have to kill me to my
Unfortunately, there's nothing on Google also on that. Okay, I get it. Someone's gonna have to steal your ID or something.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, there's a reason that I chose to have like my artist name and separate that from my government and my birth name. I think it just allows for, when I need to step into Nalu, I can step into Nalu, and when I don't need to, then I don't need to.
It's like, God, what's his name? Clark Kent stepping into Superman, something like that, getting into your zone.
Yes, exactly.
No,
exactly.
So you come from a musical family where every single body plays an instrument. But what about music resonated with you, and why did you decide to pursue it?
So yeah, you're right. I was born into a super musical family, and I think I remember being 8 years old and watching my dad and my uncle play the guitar, and I was like, I want to play the guitar. It was so beautiful to me, and I was always just drawn to music and art and dance, and yeah. So I started playing the guitar from the age of 8, and then as I grew older, I started playing the piano and the flute a little bit at high school, and yeah, I mean, I've been making music since I was a kid. But professionally since 2018, 2019. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Wow. So you started 2018, 2019, and at that time you were studying as well. How was it coping with studies and pursuing music, and how difficult was that journey? Like, how did you go about the start of that journey? Was your first thoughts to maybe go for lessons or to make your own song? How did it start?
So yeah, it was quite hectic. When I dropped my first song, Bedtime Confessions, I didn't anticipate this life. I think I really wanted to make music always, and I was studying at the same time, but I was very passionate about music. And then once I dropped that first single, I dropped a couple more, I dropped a music video, I started gigging, and I had to balance studying and music and also modeling. But I think it was there was beauty within the chaos. I think I learned how to manage my time. I developed a really good work ethic, which carries me through now. And yeah, it was really tough to do everything at the same time, but I knew what my goals were, and I knew what I wanted to achieve for myself. I wanted to finish my degree, I wanted to also pursue music, and I couldn't do one or the other. I wanted to, do both and excel in both. And now that I've graduated, I feel like I can, fully set my mind to my career and to my art, and just knowing that I've put in the time and the effort to be able to pursue it,
Awesome. You studied for some sort of a degree in politics. Do you think that in future you may be going to become a politician or something?
No, no, I don't think so. I did my 2 majors were politics and governance and philosophy. And I do not think that I'll ever become a politician. I feel like I'm too relaxed to become a politician. I don't think I'll do that. But I was interested in it, and just a society and how how we function as society and also how we're dysfunctional. So yeah, I suppose it just helped me to, you know, think in different ways as well, and also like to place myself and be aware of my position within society. So yeah, and I mean, all of that, you know, just adds to the art, it adds to the experience, to the human experience that I'm having. So yeah.
Awesome. How did the modeling career start? Because you did that while you were still studying. Were you scouted, or did you join up with the agency?
Yeah, so I was scouted at university. There was one of the agents from my first agency was, you know, scouting, and yeah, I never really thought that I would go into modeling, to be honest, but the opportunity was presented to me and I took it. I also think that my whole modeling journey and career is its own thing completely, you know, compared to like how I started up until where I am now, and how I perceive myself as a model as well. But yeah, that's also been such a beautiful just time of growth and sort of like experiences, you know, just learning to be self-aware and yeah, sort of learning to, you know, be good at something that you never thought that you would ever pursue, you know. Yeah, I'm still on that journey as well.
For all the modeling agents out there, I'd love to be scouted, but unfortunately I'm too short. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to wait.
It's okay. I'm also super short. I'm also short. I'm not skinny, like tall and skinny. Yeah, there's spaces for everyone to exist and be beautiful. And I'll definitely send, when this video goes live, I'll send it to my agency so they can check you out.
Yo, man. And then I should have like had my haircut in the fade, should have been in by now and everything.
No. No, your fade is good. Don't worry. It's good.
It's all thanks to my mom's work. She cuts the you wrote the song about lockdown.
Oh,
I got lockdown haircuts. So yeah, lockdown is a new way to be creative.
Yes.
When would you say that your music kind of took off and people took you seriously?
That's a very good question. When did my music take off and people started taking me seriously? You know, I can't pinpoint when, but I can tell you when I started taking myself seriously and that reflected in my work. I think it was definitely like once I like sort of had experienced enough within the industry to know how to assert myself, you know, as not only an artist, but as a woman and as a woman of color. I would say once I dropped my, maybe after 2019, because I was also my last year at university and I was sort of just trying to graduate and also, you know, do my career. But yeah, I think definitely end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I started to, you know, fully commit myself to my craft and to my career. And yeah, I think when you take yourself seriously, people see that and they appreciate that as well, you know, so that they can take you seriously. Yeah.
No, I definitely love that. It goes in so many things. When you love yourself, others love you. When you take yourself seriously, others take you seriously. But it's quite ironic that you spoke about your name being Hawaiian, because I think a few days ago I was listening to your music again, and for some reason, because I'm a dancer and I'm like someone, you know, the things must be hype, and I was listening to your voice, and to be honest, it sounded so strange to me because it was something that I never heard before. And then I was thinking, wait, but it is dope, but I need to listen to it in a different way. And then I closed my eyes and I was like, wait, this is that type of song that you need to be like on a resort and somebody's like playing with a ukulele or something, and you need to be chilling with the waves. And yet today you're telling me that,
oh yeah. I love that.
Oh,
I love that. I would love to be at a resort dancing to ukulele to my music. So I will manifest that for both of us.
Awesome. How would you describe your sound actually? Because I heard you don't actually want to put your sound in a box.
Yeah, I think, you know, like my sound definitely has influences of like obviously R&B, you know, acoustic soul, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of lo-fi. I grew up listening to a lot of jazz, a lot of classical music as well. And I think definitely like your influences growing up will come into your sound. You know what I mean? I try to like create my own sound when I am creating art. You know what I mean? For people to hear my music and know that that's Nalu, you know? And obviously that comes with time as well. And my sound will be ever changing as I am ever changing. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your music is very authentic, and there's the sense of vulnerability that comes through the songs that you put out. Can you tell us why is it so important for you to be authentic and vulnerable to your audience, and what are the themes that you explore in your songs?
You know, I feel like vulnerability is definitely, vulnerability is definitely a strength, and it's definitely something that people struggle with. I myself struggle with it all the time, you know, and it's like to be able to be vulnerable and to open up to not only to others but to yourself. It's a really beautiful experience, you know, and it's there's comfort in like immersing yourself within your emotions and in feeling like you're being heard and you're being seen. And I think that that's what people get from my music as well, you know, just like knowing that it's okay to feel these uncomfortable feelings, you know, because we're all going through it every single day. There's strength in being vulnerable, even though it's scary. And actually, funny enough, my next project, the first song is called Vulnerable, but that's only coming out next year. So we'll talk about that again.
Yeah, guys, I'm like throwing some things out you guys never knew, eh? You guys didn't even know Nalu,
Yeah.
real name, yeah.
Yeah.
What you seem to be someone that's quite certain of yourself and very confident and at peace with yourself. Can you take us on your journey of self-discovery and self-healing?
That's so beautiful that's how you perceive me, you know, because I feel like I'm still working on those things, you know, but it's really beautiful that that's how I've been received, you know. I think yeah, I think the journey, you know, one's journey of self-discovery is can be very long. It can be very painful and tedious at times, but it can also be super beautiful. And I sort of started along my this like very intensive journey of self-discovery, I think definitely when COVID hit, because you know, I was spending so much time with myself, and you know, we were all just like in this space of isolation, and you were sort of forced to just sit with yourself and your feelings and your demons and grapple with them, you know. And yeah, I really admire people who have come through really dark places, especially over the past year or two, with the pandemic and everything. And I think for me, healing it's continuous, you know, it's continuous, and you heal from one thing and the next day you try again with another thing, and it's never here nor there, you know. It's not linear. And yeah, I think there's a lot of beauty in having a community of people as well who support you and who are there for you. And I'm super blessed to have a tight-knit group of, you know, family and friends who can show up for me and I can show up for them. But yeah, there's, you know, there's a lot of pain that goes into having to unpack yourself in order to heal, but it's so worth it. Like, I recommend it for everybody, you know, to go through that process.
What are some of the key practices that you use that you can maybe share with somebody who looks up to you and doesn't know how to start on their journey?
You mean the practices for like of like, you know, just healing and self-discovery? So I think, well, what's worked for me, I would say over the past couple of years, has definitely been journaling. I journal quite a bit, whether it's first thing in the morning, you know, doing gratitude journal, or just journaling to be able to get your thoughts out of your head, because if you leave them there, it can get a bit chaotic and clouded, you know. I also started doing something which I actually haven't been that consistent with this year, but I was kind of consistent like in some months, but doing like a mood tracker every month, right? So like you basically make this template of like a mood tracker, and every single day you just track your mood. Like you have a color that represents a certain mood or energy that you're feeling. And then at the end of the month, you can look back and reflect on how your month went, you know, and how your mood was, and what you experienced and how you dealt with it. yeah, writing really helps for me. And I need to do more of it. And yeah, but also I really enjoy meditation, just to center myself, breathing, you know, yoga, and also just being outside. I think is so healing. Like spending time outside in the sun, whether it's an hour a day, you know, walking, spending time with your plants or with your pets, with other living beings, just to ground yourself and to know that like you are not like the world around you isn't crashing. um yeah, that's what I'd say. And also obviously spending time with loved ones, you know, always helps.
Awesome, man. I love that answer. Before I get to the next question, because you look like someone that wants to do quite a bit of things, do you feel like in the future you're going to dive into acting?
Acting, you know, my brother's an actor.
Oh,
He is a trained actor. He lives in London, and he's so cool. I don't know, maybe. I mean, I've done short films. Like I did a short film in 2019 called Hush. That was a short film centered around gender-based violence. And then, you know, in the modeling, we act in commercials, you know, and it's, I don't know, I'd love, you know, one thing I want to do before I die is I really want to be in a horror movie because I love horror movies. I don't know if I'll go into acting seriously or if I'll do like you know, when like Beyonce's in a movie or like Drake comes up in a movie, that kind of vibe. But I'll see. I mean, the world is my oyster. Yeah, I'll see. Maybe we'll chat again in 10 years and then we'll see if I've done a movie.
what type of role in the horror movie? Do you want to be the killer or do you want to be the victim?
No, I want to be the killer.
Oh, snap.
But I also want to be, I don't know. I want to be both. I think I'll do two different ones. Because I just love like the intensity and the anxiety that horror movies give me. I don't know why. It just gives me a rush. So I want to be a part of the rush.
I can't
But I
watch
think I
horror
could do
movies.
both. I think I could be like the demon and the victim. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we all like that's I feel like that's a symbol of life. But anyway.
Yeah, like the thing of what's the Chinese saying, yin and yang, that there's good and bad in everybody.
Mm,
Yeah. So it relates to that.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Um
That's
but-
actually like that also touches on the theme of my sorry.
no, you can continue.
Now, I wanted to say that touches on the theme of my project that's dropping tomorrow. Can we get lost? Just that thing of having good and bad in you, and like being able to, like, you know, get cozy with your demons, but also your demons being parts of you that you need to like grapple with and understand, in order to be the best, most authentic version of yourself. You know.
Yeah. Your first single was recorded on your phone, and then Lockdown Blues you produced by yourself. Take us on the process of trying to make beats, recording on your phone, and there was something that you did with a blanket or sheets or something in your room. Take us on that journey.
Yeah, so I'm so amazed at how you know all of these things. It's really dope. So firstly, my first single was recorded on my phone. Yes, I recorded the vocals and the guitar on my phone, and that song was not mixed, it was not mastered, and people still listen to it and put it on the Instagram stories, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to re-record this whole thing. But anyway, I didn't produce that. I produced my first song, Bedtime Confessions. I didn't produce Lockdown Blues. Blues was produced by Elise. He's a producer from Johannesburg. So sorry. So get that sorted out real quick. Okay. So yeah, he produced Lockdown Blues, and yeah, that was an amazing beat that he made. And then in terms of Bedtime Confessions, I sort of in my bedroom had this like homemade studio setup where like I put this blanket over the mic, and I was using that for a while. But yeah, I mean, now I have got access to studio, and I've got people who can help me when it comes to getting things recorded professionally. And yeah, I'm super humbled to be able to be in a place where that's where I started and this is where I am. But don't get me wrong, I've got so many recordings on my phone of like songs and vocals and guitars, like I don't forget where I came from. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Awesome. So you are an independent artist. What would you recommend to someone starting up? Would you recommend to be independent or to try and sign with a label? Are there any benefits of being with a label or benefits of being independent? How would you weigh off those options?
I think the advice that I have for an independent artist would be just to like stay true to themselves through everything that they do, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's a huge opportunity, just to not sacrifice themselves for corporate like gain, or and I think there are pros and cons with being independent, as there are pros and cons with being at a label. I've been approached by labels, so me being independent is definitely like a choice that I've made for now, at the level that I am within my career. But yeah, I think just to stay true to yourself throughout your entire journey, and also being an independent artist allows me to learn the ropes of the industry, learn the ropes of the music business, because I'm not only an artist, but I'm also, my manager, and I'm my everything basically. I run this business that is my career. So it's being able to know what's going on in the industry, so that once you do get label management or whatever, that they're doing their job properly, because yeah, management and labels sound nice, but whether they are actually executed properly, and like whether your best interest is put into play every single time, that's a whole other conversation. So yeah.
Are you waiting to kind of have this type of deal that Russ had, and kind of have this sort of leverage that you can use against a label before they try to sign you?
I don't know if it's so much, having leverage to use against label. I think it's more a case of being able to sit down with label directors and writing a contract together. What do you want as the artist? What do you expect from the label? What does the label want from you as a label, and what do they expect from you? And how do we have mutual gain and mutual respect always throughout the interaction? It needs to be I feel like it needs to be a collaborative relationship as opposed to an ownership, where you get signed to a label and you have to sign your soul off. I've been offered some interesting contracts, I'll put it like that. Yeah, but I think there needs to be fairness and a sense of humanity within your contract, as opposed to I need to sign off my entire image, my music, my soul in order to make it.
Cool.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. Okay, now getting to the recent things. You made this dope song with Youngster, which I loved. Firstly, who taught Youngster that footwork piece? Who taught him how to dance in that video?
I don't know. He didn't want to dance, but I had to have a conversation with him. No, I'm kidding. Nah, so we first took the cover art, and then I was like, let's just shoot some videos. And I said to him, I was like, come, let's dance on this machine. And then yeah, and then we just danced. That the whole promo visual was a little bit like was not planned at all. Like it was very much impromptu and like just sort of behind the scenes vibes. But then I was like, I'm gonna edit this and make it into a promo visual, and then I did.
How's it like working with Youngster? And secondly, is the music video out yet of that song? No,
so we haven't shot the video yet. We're gonna shoot it next month. But it was such a pleasure working with him, honestly. Like I also I wasn't sure that it was gonna happen, So his sound engineer, K Faith, mixed and mastered my project Can We Get Lost? And I showed her this song and I was like, what are the chances of getting Youngster on this? And she said she'll show it to his team. She showed it to his team. They loved it, he loved it. And then a week later, he came to studio with us, and he literally recorded his verse in one take. Like he did 3 takes, and then the first take was the take. Like he's so talented, and he was just so, professional, and such a like easygoing guy as well. And then yeah, after we recorded, like we were just chatting, and yeah, he was giving me some insight about the industry and, you know, music as a whole. And it was really, really inspiring to work with somebody who I've looked up to since high school, you know. So yeah, it was really, really amazing.
Awesome. And then you got your project coming out tomorrow, that album, Can We Get Lost? Can we tell us more about that?
So Can We Get Lost is sort of like a step into my mind after midnight, right? So, you know, when like the clock hits 12 and then your brain just starts going into different worlds and sort of getting lost within your thoughts and scenarios and memories and moments and decisions. And I like to think. I'm very much a thinker and I'm very much in my head, which is something that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, Can We Get Lost is definitely just like a conversations with myself and like you know, the dreams that I was having and the desires that I had, and grappling with those, but also working through them and holding myself through working through them, you know. I think I like definitely stepped further into myself over the past year, and Can We Get Lost is just a product of that. And, you know, also recognizing that I'm human and that I'm fallible, and nobody is perfect, you know, as much as we all are expected to be, you know. And I think that, yeah, it's definitely an honest journey of, you know, what goes on in my head. And also I think a lot of like things that people are struggle to speak about. Yeah, I touch on, you know, things like desire, things like secrecy, like, you know, willingness to change, willingness to grow. Yeah, and also like obviously, you know, the like womanhood and sexuality and yeah. But I sort of wanted to create it to like almost create a safe space for people to be able to experience these things and know that they aren't alone in it. Because I felt very alone when I was making it, but I've come out the other side, and yeah, so I really hope that people enjoy it. I'm super excited for tomorrow.
Oh, awesome, man. I wanted to ask you, who's the other feature? Because I know it's Youngster and another one, but I have a feeling you're not going to tell me at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's already out.
Oh, okay.
The features, yeah, because I dropped the track list. The second feature is Mars Baby. He is a producer and singer-songwriter. He lives in Joburg. And he's actually a really good friend of mine since we were like young, like since we were kids. So yeah, he's the second feature, and the song that I made with him is called Sunrise. So I think it's gonna be super dope as well.
Awesome. And then you spoke about earlier certain projects that's coming up next year. What more can we expect from you in the future, next year, the coming years? What do you expect from yourself as well?
I don't want to say too much about anything, you know, but yeah, just, you know, visuals coming out over the next couple months, more music coming next year. You know, I've been working on another project that I'm wanting to drop next year. So yeah, it's I think what I expect from myself is just to be gentle with myself always, and to know that everything is happening in divine timing, and I'm on a really beautiful path, and yeah, everything is falling into place, you know. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Before I let you go, I think in case this person is watching, they might probably be upset or not upset. But there's a radio presenter from Bush Radio, and I heard him give you a shout out on his show. And he said most of the music today in Cape Town is boring, but there's one artist that's killing it. And he said that's you. So he gave you a shout out on his show, and I thought that I'd just share that with you today. Yeah.
That's so lovely. Thank you so much. Do you know the name of the radio host?
Yes, it's Evan Vessels, who hosts the Dankish Radio on Bush Radio.
Thank you so much. I thank you for telling me that as well. It's really, really beautiful to hear.
Awesome, man. Anyway, Nalu, thank you so much for joining me. I know that you are a busy young lady, so I'm gonna let you do what you gotta do. But thank you so much for joining me, man. And I wish you nothing but the best for the future.
Thank you so much for having me, Tariq. I really appreciate it. And I'm so sorry about the amount of times that we had to reschedule this conversation. But yeah, I really appreciate your energy and your lights, and yeah, keep doing what you're doing as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good day further. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.